Who is most to blame? Freddie Kitchens, Baker Mayfield, and this option is silly, but us, not you, but everyone else for overhyping them. You were very calm, cool, and collected and told us exactly what was going to happen with the Browns. But I think as an NFL nation, we overhyped them. So who's most at fault for basically everyone burying the Browns right now?
I'm going to start with the head coach because I guess that's where you have to start. The front office did a great job in putting talent on the field. The offensive line is not great. Last year, the offensive line, I think, was one of the top 10 offensive lines. But I'm going to start with the coach, and then I got to have Baker Mayfield. I mean, the media, we want the Browns to do well. There's a lot of star power. You want them to do well, it felt like. The media was rooting for a story. And that's what happens. That's when somebody gets overhyped is we're rooting for a story. And the media is guilty of rooting for the Browns to be great. We're waiting for that team that's going to challenge the Patriots. Maybe Kansas City's not that team. Like, who is that team that's going to, challenge the Patriots? Well, the Browns could be the team that would do it. They're just not ready yet. And that doesn't mean at the end of the year that they won't be, because they very well could be. But you're going against an established coach who's won a Super Bowl in Baltimore, and they seem to have an interesting formula there. They have a great kicker. They stay in games. They win games. You got a wild card in Lamar Jackson. Let's see how consistent he can be. But, there's less question marks with them than there is with the Cleveland Browns. And I start with Freddie Kitchens. But, Baker Mayfield's holding on to the ball. It's the same thing when we go back to what Rex Ryan said. When he said he's overrated as hell, people stopped there. And it just was a headline there, what Rex called him. And I said, well, let's look at and break down and chop up what he said about Baker Mayfield. And then I talked to an NFL scout. I said, give me your assessment on what Rex Ryan said. And he said he was right. He stares down receivers. Now, the first interception wasn't his fault, but, he stares down these receivers and he holds onto the ball too long. Okay. So is he overrated? Yes, but your network overrated him as much as anybody did. They got to go out and just remember who they are. And you know what's interesting you're seeing right now? As much as we love passing, what are these teams doing now? Got a lot of teams running the football. San Francisco ran the ball 40 times. Now, granted, they were up big. They ran the ball. And they dictated the tempo of the game. The Packers ran the football. Who would have thought the greatest quarterback, of all time, and you're running the football? Look what the Colts did against the Chiefs. Ran the football. This is what the Patriots want to do. They want to run the football. That offensive line is not good. They don't have weapons. They don't have Gronk. Everybody's dinged up as far as their wide receivers. They have a great defense. They want to run the football. Yeah, McLevin.
I don't understand where Baker's accuracy went, because wasn't he the most accurate college quarterback coming out? That's why he went number one. And last year he seemed pinpoint. And like that pick that Antonio Callaway bobbled off his knee, that was like a easy pass that he just threw like a foot off. Yeah. Do you think he might have a yips or something? I don't know.
I don't know if defenses are playing him differently, but they have scouting reports on these guys. They don't go out and go, "Yep, we can't stop him." No, they're going, "These are his tendencies," or "Let's force him into these tendencies." It just feels like he holds onto the football too long. You got to look at some of these guys, and I don't think Brady and Russell Wilson have ever gotten rid of the ball quicker in their careers. If you look at the amount of time that it takes them to throw the football, there's a reason for that. And if you can't get to me, and that frustrates the defensive line, I get the feeling Baker wants to make the big play. He wants to satisfy Odell Beckham Jr. I think you get in there and you go, we're going to show the world, and you start to play favorites. You just have to stay with what you do really well. And you can't get full of yourself. You just can't. This game humbles every single quarterback who's ever played the game. Every one of them has been humbled at some point. And Baker is getting humbled. He was the darling last year in the offseason, got all the commercial endorsements, and now everybody is noticing you. Spotlight is on you, and it gets brighter and brighter.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.